Is anyone in this room recording this meeting? And if so, could you please give us your name and your home address, sir?
I am. James Kirkillis, 19 Gordon Street.
Mr. Clerk?
Got it.
Thank you very much.
I think you used to have a table, madam.
Mr. Chair,
Councilor LaFosse.
I will take the matter concerning, what are we calling it, the grant of location off the table for the Lexington Street matter.
All right. On that motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. The ayes have it.
And I'd also like to make a motion to hear from off-committee members
All right.
concerning this.
On that motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. The ayes have it.
Thank you. I believe, I'll start with the ward counselor. If you have anything, have anything you want to say to the ward counselor, out of respect to you.
Oh, well, thank you. I just happened to stay because my meeting just finished. I wasn't going to attend, but primarily it was the fact that, this map is missing the homes in question that, this petitioner homeowner is here for against this. And so we want to know where the more updated plans are. And in addition, is there the opportunity to not tie into a high-pressure line and maintain the line that already exists in the street to these homes without losing gas power?
Is that it?
Thank you.
So, through you, Mr. Chair, I'd like to call on Ms. Mulroney from National Grid. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for coming. Obviously, you just heard the question from the Ward 2 counselor regarding whether or not the addresses in question of 586 and 588 can tie not into the high pressure line.
No, because they're gonna abandon the old main and they'll have to be tied over to the new main.
So the old main will be gone, it will be
Yes,
abandoned.
yeah, there'll be no gas in it.
So that answers that question. Basically, we've gotten some questions from the homeowners of both 586 and 588, and if I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Through these questions, there was a bunch of questions, Ms. Mulroney, if you may. The first question is, the homeowners are requesting a standard insurance binder rider naming 586 and 588 as additionally insured for injury, liability, and workman's compensation for work done on their property in easement area. Is this something that National Grid does, or?
Well, National Grid did have to contact the legal department because of the binders and in the naming. I mean, we do work every day on people's property and we don't supply insurance binders because we're self-insured, so, but if that's something they feel comfortable with, then the legal department would be able to assist them with that.
So the legal department would be able to give them verification, either it's something that can be done or not done? That's not something that you'd be able to do?
Right, no,
Are you guys bonded with the city?
yes,
So basically, by you being bonded with the city is an umbrella policy basically to protect the city and the homeowners of any work that's being done.
yes,
So kind of along the same lines of an additionally insured.
yes.
The second question is, the homeowners are requesting a rider on a bond to cover the repaving for the easement locale. City council cannot demand that National Grid use a certain contractor. In this case, the homeowners at 586 and 588 are asking for a rider amount insurance to cover the cost of potentially incomplete work. Is that something that you guys do as far as a rider and monies for the side?
No, if there was, if there's damage done to the property, National Grid will repair it, and repair it to the state that it was when they, opened the road.
Okay. I mean, that question that brings me to a different question, Mr. Chair, and I don't know how to address this one because line 1 basically says homeowners are requesting a rider on the bond to cover the repaving for the easement. Is this a driveway or an easement? Because an easement basically says you have the right to pass over this property, but you don't own it.
As far as I know, that.
There's a definition of an easement.
Exactly, yes.
But yet, the question is saying that you need to pave my driveway. And in the own question, it's an easement, so that's kind of a, we'll get back to that. Number 3, the homeowner understands that in order to connect to the new main and to participate in the required upgrade to their aging pipes, that the pavement must be dug up to accomplish. Homeowners in 586 and 588 have the option to refuse gas to their home, but if they wish to continue with gas, they must agree to the upgrades and disruption of the ground. I mean, I think that's a pretty standard, I mean, that's more of a point than a question. It's, the line is being replaced on the street,
Right.
and your options are, and I think you worded it, I think it was last week, the options either to connect into the high line, we do the work, or we abandon the line and you find an alternative source of fuel. I mean, kind of cut and dry. National Grid spokesman Steve DiLorenzo was scheduled to attend the June 21st license franchise meeting to review the above, but did not make it, hence the issue was tabled. So now you're here, I'm assuming that you have brought yourself up to speed with this project from Steve?
Yes, yes.
So the question came up that originally there was 2 lines going up to the property, but I guess now there's only 1 based on this drawing, or is there still 2?
There's one, it's a, I believe it's a 3-inch bare steel that's going up.
There's a 3-inch bare steel and it's being replaced with a 2-inch plastic. So the option of lining the 3 inches not viable?
No. I asked several times.
So we have to, at that point, dig into this driveway
Correct.
for easement. Do you know who does the paving for National Grid?
I don't know who they would use. Sometimes it's Riley, Riley Brothers. Trying to think who else might do it. They're reputable people that they hold them very accountable.
Are there ever options where you use local pavers?
Not that I'm aware of, because they would have to be licensed, insured, and bonded with us, like, just in case there was a liability.
Okay. Are there any other properties within this Lexington Street project that we're gonna be running into the same issue?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
So it's just the 586 and 588? And without going into this driveway, can the work be continued?
The work can continue, and you don't, if we don't go into the driveway, then the 2 houses above will not have gas supplied to them. So, I mean,
Well, I guess my question is, does the old line get abandoned as the new line is getting put in, or does the new line get completed first?
the new line gets completed first, and then as the main's put in, then the services will be tied over, so that it will go down the street, whatever direction it is, and the services get put in, and then after everything, the new services are in place, then the lines will be tied over.
The lines will get tied over.
Yeah.
So in the interim, the 3-inch steel line will still be in service
Yep.
until the plastic line is complete.
Correct.
So, I mean, I guess I'm gonna go back to it now, is the fact that point number 2 states that it's an easement, repaving for the easement locale, so, I mean, my assumption is that the city owns this property. And it's not property owned by the 2 houses up top.
That's my understanding, that they have the right to use the property.
Regardless of the fact that if it was paved at homeowner's expense or not at homeowner's expense, and it was paved 6 years ago, it's an easement on city property that is giving access to those 2 houses. I mean, that being said, I mean, I look at this and I say, you know, we have a gas property, a gas line that's gonna be beneficial to the city. That I don't see how we can hold up a project for something that isn't owned by people that are in question.
May I?
Councilor Dunn,
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna allow you to speak on this.
Mr. Chair.
Still have the floor.
So my understanding is that this portion of the line is the easement, and that's for the high school. This portion of the line is for these two houses that don't show up on any map or any plan. So because of this, so what I hear happening is because this high-pressure line is being put in to service the high school, that every single person down along the line is being required to tie into a high-pressure line when it's not required for their residential home, nor do they want it or have the disruption of it. But it's almost like saying, you know, because of the fact that we're putting a high-pressure line in to service the high school, every single person on the street now has to tie into that at their own, you know, not their own expense, but their own trouble and time and effort. And, you know, this particular homeowner is very concerned about her walls and plants and everything, and just really just doesn't want to have the disruption. So, am I getting it right? Pretty
Can
much.
I say something? I mean, it is
I-
my,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
no,
I
it's
know.
not a public hearing. and-
Right, understood.
okay, but can I,
No.
I do want to say,
Follow.
I do just want to say that at the time that the public hearing came out, and she did come, she still doesn't have a map or drawing with her home on it. There's no showing how it's going to be connected or anything. So she had incomplete information when the public hearing was in, and we still have incomplete information tonight. That's, you know, thank you for letting me
No,
follow up.
and I appreciate that. I mean,
and the driveway is private property.
please,
No, it's,
please.
Councilor, Gonzalez, you still have the floor.
Just going back to it, I mean, there was a point in this that National Grid did agree to a dollar amount to fix the driveway, which at the time was in the tune of, I believe, $18,000, which then was rescinded and came back with a greater amount. Quite honestly, I mean, this line needs to go through. It needs to go through the high school. The part in contention of the easement is the part coming from Lexington Street up to the bend, and then at that point, it's under the assumption that the driveway will not be touched, and it's gonna be done on dirt. Can we confirm that?
Yep.
The easement is the part from Lexington Street. On GPS maps, the driveway takes a right.
And goes
Are we
up.
digging up the whole
Yes.
asphalt area?
Yes, it will be on Walton City's property, and then it winds up in front of the homeowner's house until it gets to the services, in which Steve DiLorenzo has already spoken to the homeowners about how they'll be able to not actually have a new service as he can see it. He'll be able to sleeve the existing one, so her walls and things won't be disrupted. That's what I was told.
So per National Grid, per Steve DiLorenzo, the digging will be on the easement portion of the asphalt.
And to the homes,
It will be dug to the homes.
yes. to
But the asphalt will not be disrupted?
Well, no, there'll be a trench all the way up the driveway.
And then after that, what happens with that trench?
The gas mains there and the services that come out will be attached to the new gas main, which we then, from my understanding from Steve, is we'll be able to use the existing service going into the house already and sleeve that, insert that, and it will tie into the new main.
But are you going to be repaving the driveway?
Afterwards, yes.
You are going to repave the driveway?
They'll do the patch and they'll do whatever the agreement was.
When you say agreement with who?
That the homeowner and the attorney had spoken to engineering at National Grid, and they had come up with the terms that they were going to repave her driveway.
So there's a detailed, there's a letter or an email of some sort, is what you're telling me, between engineering and an attorney,
That lives at the residence of,
that the driveway will be repaved?
yes, that's what they said, yes.
I'm gonna make a request that we get a copy of that email from National Grid, between the engineer and the attorney, stating that they will be paving the driveway back to its original condition after the work.
Yeah, that, sure.
does that email, Mrs. Mulroney, does that email state if it's gonna be Mark Del Vecchio's company, or if it's going to be just O'Reilly Brothers, or?
I don't know, I don't have it with me. I don't even know if I just, you know, yeah, I don't have it, with me, but it was with the, Daniel Brack. I know that, he was involved with it.
Daniel Brack,
Yes, he's the engineer,
engineer.
yes,
So he's the engineer that had the dialogue between
correct,
the attorney.
yes.
So there'll be an email chain of some sort, basically stating that National Grid is going to put the homeowners at 586 and 588's driveway back to its original condition,
That's what I believe is said in the email, yes.
okay? And that their walls are not going to be disturbed.
That's what Steve DiLorenzo said, that he would be able to, the supervisor that met them on site, this is what I was told, that the gas service going into the home, there won't be any disruption of the walls, they'll be able to use the existing services going in.
And what is the recourse of the homeowners in the event, the just stated events can't happen? As far as walls not being able to not be disturbed? I mean, are they fieldstone walls, are they concrete walls, are they, I mean, I'm assuming National Grid at that point will have to take on the expenses of putting everything back.
They'll replace it as they find it, yes.
So that's basically what I'm getting at, is conditions that they are in today, June 26th, is the conditions that they will be in when all of this work is completed all the way up and connected.
Yes,
I mean, that's what we're here for, is to, you know, protect you as the homeowner. I mean, the
But I'd
project,
like to speak, please.
with all due respect, I told you 2 weeks ago, you speak now or later, and you chose earlier. So now, this isn't a public,
I understand, but when we had the public meeting, there was no plans, there are still no plans.
so,
I can answer all the questions you're answering her.
but like I said, I mean,
And it's just get some order in this room. Again, this is not a public hearing, so we have a discussion right now among a committee member and a petitioner, so please just stick to that. Thank you.
We've got the information coming back from National Grid, basically saying that they're going to cover the damages of the driveway if in fact they are done. The project needs to continue going through because it is a capital improvement project, not just for the high school, but for the city in general. You know, that being said, and you know, the fact that it does say an easement, I'm gonna make a motion for approval on this.
Okay. On the motion, any comments from the committee members? All right, we have a motion on the floor. On the motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
No.
We have a, it's, just take a roll.
Counselor Bradley McGuire.
No.
Paul Katz.
Yes.
Anthony LaFauci.
Yes.
Patrick O'Brien is absent. Chair, do you wish to vote?
Yes, I do, yes.
3 in favor, 1 opposed.
What, are you gonna raise my mason from the dead to fix my walls?
Do we have an approval?
Yeah, 3 in
Your
favor.
man didn't give the right information. It's per work order. I'd like to know what the
May
work
I
order
ask-
is.
Can. Resident.
Doesn't matter. Adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no, the ayes have it, thank you.